welcome back to the big Summerslam extravaganza. This is the midway show, I guess, because we are halfway through Summerslam and we have a whole nother night to go. I'm exhausted. You're exhausted.
You exhausted.
We're all exhausted because last night we had a huge turn of events, I guess, at the end of the show. We had, if you watched this show at all, you would know that we saw everything coming a mile away. And
we did.
We can put it all into proper context now and kind of revisit some of the clues.
Sure.
But if you are sleeping under a rock, if you missed SummerSlam, shame on you for that. But you missed a big first night. And it's got me excited for night 2 a little bit. But we'll revisit that at the end of this.
Okay.
Well, let's get to the main headline of the hour. Seth freaking Rollins cashed in on CM Punk last night. CM Punk got to be champion for all but less than 5 minutes.
2 seconds.
Well, Seth Rollins did say, like, I'm never going to let you be champion as long as I'm here or something. And
he got to be a champion for less than 5 minutes.
a lot of people saw this coming, I think, or were at least hoping for it. It brings up an interesting dilemma as wrestling fans because I don't think you want to see injuries like this being used for work.
You start questioning.
To work over the audience a lot because, you know, you'll never know, like, is Liv Morgan really hurt now? Like, you'll just question it. So I don't think they should necessarily make a regular habit out of this. But I do think at the same time, Seth Rollins is evil enough to have pulled this off.
True, but he also played on the existing injury. It's not like he never had a knee injury.
Oh, yeah, he did. And so it kind of played into that for sure. He was also like making videos on social media on crutches, like walking around town with his daughter.
You have to embrace the whole character.
Yeah, it makes me like think about some of those conversations and how they go. Like, it makes me feel like, how's the conversation between Triple H and CM Punk gonna go when it says like, hey, you're gonna win the title for 2 seconds and then you're gonna have to lose it. And but I think all of this last night set up what should be a very, very, very entertaining build-up all the way to WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
With these two. You know, like, these two guys, at least their on-screen personas, they hate each other.
I know, and they have great mic skills.
Yes.
And WrestleMania is a Super Bowl of wrestling.
Right.
So it will lead up all the way to WrestleMania 42.
And SummerSlam is literally the Midsummer Classic.
Exactly.
You know,
Like
in
a soul
partnership
star.
with that. You know, and it's not necessarily the halfway mark.
No.
But it is a big event on the calendar. And probably the second biggest. Obviously, it's 2 nights now, just like WrestleMania. And I don't think Survivor Series or Royal Rumble are going to get that treatment anytime soon.
Those are great events.
They are. And I'm just saying,
yeah.
I just feels like SummerSlam being a 2-night event is going to stay, and WrestleMania, but none of the other events. They're not going to like try and keep making all of them 2 nights.
No, that would be too much.
It would be, though there is a lot of people on the roster these days.
True, but you want to make them special. Like WrestleMania is special.
It is.
So
is SummerSlam in a way. I mean, SummerSlam for me as a kid always marked like the end of summer. And
true. And school started.
There's a few weeks to go. It's not as late as it used to be. This is an earlier edition in the calendar. Like, it used to be like kind of near the end of August, but all right. Well, this news was certainly exciting, and
we waited at the end of the seats because is it going to happen or is it not going to happen? Because the fight between Gunther and CM Punk was a long fight.
Yeah, we'll get into that in one second. But that was a good fight, and it was a great build up into all of this. But back to the moment itself. Yeah, you are correct. What a great job of just dramatic live storytelling by Triple H and WWE and whoever was in that room that they showed on the documentary on Netflix. Whoever was producing this match and everything. Like, this ending though, like the choreography when CM Punk raises the title for the first time over his head, and then you hear Seth's music hit at that moment, and the look of devastation, like, he sold it so much. CM Punk did. Like, oh my God, is this really happening right now? And it's like, yeah, you knew it was going to happen. But he tapped into some really good skills here when it came to selling this and like just I can't believe this is happening moment. On the other side of it, you have Seth Rollins literally doing what we said, the usual suspects, the verbal Kint, Kaiser Soze. I'm not really injured. I'm faking it the whole time for the cameras. We just said he took it all the way to the extreme of walking around town with his daughter. He was walking around backstage amongst all the WWE talent. I don't think they all even knew about this. I think it was probably a very small circle of people who knew this was going to happen, CM Punk included. I don't know if Gunther even knew.
Yeah, probably the less people knew, the more likely you're going to pull it off.
Yeah, I want to revisit some of the buildup aside from the fact that Seth was selling it with the crutches, but some of the tells that came up, I think, before this, which were the Rich Eisen show appearance. That was scheduled for a long time, and we even heard him talking about it during, it was either the NFL draft or I think that's when we learned about it the first time.
I think so.
Because he was made an appearance on the show during that weekend. And they even had like a whole alternate set for the Rich Eisen show for that weekend. And Seth was on, and he was also the Chicago Bears ambassador, of course. But that's when we learned he was going to host for the first time. And then, so when he was hosting, the few things that stood out, the swelling. There was 4 days, 4.5 days since his injury had happened. And yet people were saying like, or his excuse that they didn't know what was wrong with his knee yet was that the swelling hadn't come down and they hadn't been able to get a clean image yet. And that was a red flag to me because it's like, okay, I could see maybe 24, 36 hours, but
4 days?
It's not going to take 4 days for the swelling to come down, especially someone with Seth Rollins' personnel around him, medical training. Like he has a WWE contract. He's a...
Yes. Well, we come from a world of sports, so we are very in tune when it comes to injuries and how people respond to that.
Well, that was another thing. The video footage itself of the actual injury on Saturday night's main event, it was an awkward situation. I also found myself not grossed out by what I was watching. Usually you see like the knee buckle or twist, move a wrong way, move in a way that it shouldn't naturally. And it felt like, wait, where was the actual awkward landing injury here? So there was that part of the tell. And then just his appearance on Rich Eisen when he was guest hosting for the 2 days, I just felt like he was never really traumatized over what was happening to him at this moment because, this was 2 weeks before he had shown up at Night of Champions. And he, of course, attempted to cash in sort of that night on CM Punk and John Cena's matchup. So, yeah, here we are. Fast forward all the way to last night, and he comes out on the crutches. He sells it to the audience and everyone all the way up to the last minute. He even pretended he was walking away and just being like, enjoy it while you can, And it was, I even turned to you and I was like, okay, they're just setting it up for WrestleMania. It's gonna. I thought even when he came out, maybe they were just gonna announce the WrestleMania match now, and give it the 9 months of buildup. Anyways, CM Punk and Gunther put on a hell of a show, Nika.
They sure did.
And Gunther even took a shot off the announce table at the end of this, the IKEA announce table. They must build those things like IKEA furniture because they go through them like butter.
Do you think it's the same table every time or they just bring new tables?
No, I think they have new tables. I think they've got it like a construction kit in the back. Like, here's the announce table. It's your first thing you have to learn when you come work at WWE is how to construct the IKEA announcing table. And it's pretty advanced construction, though it's easy to put together for anybody. It also, it has everything you need, like all the cabling and all the monitors and all the television equipment. Like, it just fits right in like magic.
They have their own rooms. They build their own gorilla room, which is their own director's room. How they navigate the show. And it's built every single time they bring the wrestling into the new arena. So they are familiar with building sets.
100%. The matchup, CM Punk and Gunther.
Yeah.
Gunther actually had most of the upper edge, I feel like, the entire match until that table shot came in at the end. But boy, oh boy, did he get bloodied. I don't know if he had a legit bloody nose. I don't think he had a razor blade like they used to do back in the day, like the little nicks, because it looked like a gushing flow. And it didn't It almost looked like paint. And yet I was like, man, that looks kind of real.
They are playing that angle today that he does have legit nose injury.
Yeah, he might have
Legit.
bumped his nose. I mean, but if that was an accident, what a lucky accident.
Yeah, no
because it
kidding.
added to the element in the moment when
And
we
the
were watching. I was like,
yeah.
oh, this is getting nasty. And it got a little bit ugly there at the end when like CM Punk was punching in the face, going after it.
Yeah.
And then even when Gunther was like, he had one last run where he put the sleeper hold on him. And nevertheless, it ended, of course, with CM Punk landing that knee to the face twice in a row, and here we are. He's champion, but not for long.
No.
5 seconds, and even WWE gets in on the fun with the Twitter caption here. Was nice while it lasted.
He can always say it. He was a champion.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the truth will be later if Topps releases a card for him today
Oh, they
saying
will.
that he was the champion.
They
Nika's
will.
already banking on it because, they need to sell that product.
Exactly.
The CM Punk fans of the world want it.
Absolutely. And the picture of him holding the belt above his head.
Are they going to go before the crushed look comes on his face or after on the card?
I don't know.
Oh, man, that was funny stuff.
That's Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins steals the thunder from CM Punk, and what overall was a pretty damn good main event. I was a little bit concerned that this was going to be anticlimactic, but had Seth not come out, I was actually happy with the way it was ending. I thought they delivered a good main event for the first night of SummerSlam, especially with the blood, whether it was fake or whether it was real or not, we'll never know, but it definitely added to the drama in the moment, and I was digging it even before Seth came out. So good job by both of them to put on a good show here, put on a good main event, and great job by Seth afterwards, of course.
yeah.
But look, we weren't done. Maybe in the match of the night, we had the celebrity tag teams, Nika. We had
we did.
the Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul team taking on Randy Orton and the country music star Jelly Roll. This matchup, I didn't know what to expect, I guess. I didn't know if Jelly Roll would deliver. He did. In fact, they did a really great stunt with him and Logan Paul. Logan Paul, man, continues to impress me in terms of his athletic ability inside the ring and how he's able to use it to turn it into entertainment. If you remember, I think it was it the Saturday night's main event where they had the tag team match? It was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against Logan Paul and John Cena. And that was on the Saturday night's main event. And Logan Paul did a stunt off the ropes on Jey Uso onto the announce table, and they kind of redid that same stunt with a little extra added flair. In fact, Logan Paul climbed all the way to the top of the corner and put Jelly Roll through that announce table. So Jelly Roll took some punishment. They had the medical staff coming out and checking on him. They were carrying him to the back room when he caught a second wind and came back in for seconds.
Nice.
To help Randy Orton. Randy was left with Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul alone, and it was not looking pretty for a minute. Like, you just felt like there was going to be some punishment. But Jelly Roll came and aided. It was not enough. And I predicted this match correctly. You did not. So I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back here as we head into night 2. But this was the tiebreaker because I think we had everything else the same except for this match.
Yeah.
So I'm ahead tonight thanks to Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. But I just felt like, they were due for a victory, and Logan Paul is going to get a push at some point too. He's a really good villain, and he is turning into a great performer. I've heard Triple H comment on just how good he is in the ring. And so, yeah, I think there's going to be some
we're going to see more
push for him in the future. Drew McIntyre, I mean, he just played like the muscle in this match.
Well, he is the muscle. But
Logan Paul also did a crazy frog splash at the end of this one. Like, he got way up there in the air. Like, he over dramatizes his movements sometimes.
Okay.
And I think it adds to the selling effect. It's
I
fun.
think it's good. I think it's really good.
He really plays it up.
Yeah. And he puts a lot of effort into it. And I don't want to forget Jolly Roll. he did a really good job for a person.
For his first match, for sure.
Exactly. And for a person that comes from a not athletic family at all, just to get into wrestling and build that muscle, build that body to take abuse, he worked on it for a whole year.
100%. Well, they're never going to let like NFL players or anyone do this kind of stuff now like they did in the 80s.
No, so they got to get the singers.
So the country music stars are like the next best thing probably for crossover when it comes to getting them actually in the ring.
Sure.
You know? And we'll have to see if any other like athletes start doing it after they retire, if it starts to become a popular thing to do, you know, but like don't think that it will be easy and that you can just walk in and do it, because I think Jelly Roll did have to do a lot of work to get ready for this and work with these three guys, and just to have these three guys be willing to work with him.
Yes.
You know, there's got to be trust out there.
Absolutely.
Above and anything else, you know.
You don't want people to get real injuries.
No.
You know? You can kill somebody.
Yeah.
So
anyways,
good job.
Great job by these four. And I bumped them up in the lineup. You know, I didn't expect to necessarily be talking about them after the main event, but
that was the second
I
best.
had to give Logan Paul especially his credit for his athleticism that continues to dazzle.
I really liked his outfit though, the yellow and black.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It's a good look for him. It's very Kill Bill.
That's true. Yeah. Good catch.
All right. Well, next up, I'm going to go to Tiffy time and talk about this women's championship matchup we got last night. And, you know, I want to start off by saying I was a little bit bummed out by this matchup, not just because I had incorrectly picked Jade to become the new WWE Women's Champion, but just because I felt like the match itself was not as good as I would like it to be. And I do agree more and more with some of the criticism I see online that Jade needs to get better at working matches a little bit. And so it's not to say that she's awful or as bad as other people make her out to be either. I just feel like this matchup felt flat to me.
Yes.
And it's a shame because Jade had a nice run going up to this with all the way through Queen of the Ring, of course, and Riyadh. And for it all to kind of end flat like that was a bit of anticlimactic for me personally. But Tiffany did win. And, you know, Tiffany, I want to give her credit where credit's due. She continues to impress me with some of her athleticism that I have maybe not given her enough credit for since we started watching Royal Rumble this year. But she did some aerial maneuvers, as you can see even in the picture here, in this matchup that impressed me. And they call it the world's prettiest moonsault, right? The backwards somersault that she does at the end. So
Can't disagree with that one.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due. And as much as I don't love her shtick on the mic, her whole character persona, you can't argue with the results. She's definitely put the show on in the ring, and that's what it's all about first and foremost. So
yeah, Jade needs some work in that department. Not to say she will never have another chance at the championship. She just has to work extra.
Yeah, it's definitely takes some commitment, and hopefully she keeps working at it. And it'll be interesting to see where her character kind of goes from here, because I felt like she was getting a push. I thought for sure she was going to win the title here and at least have some hardware for a little bit. I don't know if she was going to be champion through till WrestleMania. So it'll be interesting to see where she goes. And you know, she's not like due a rematch or anything. This was her shot.
It was her shot, but now they might have a little bit of a feud and she might challenge her again.
Yeah. I've noticed WWE seems to partner up people for a while, like once they get started with each other. And I think we also needed a break from Jade and Naomi, you know?
Yes.
So I would like to see them continue working together, especially because I think they're both on the SmackDown brand and they've moved Naomi over to the Raw brand. All right. Well, Tiffy time retains.
Tiffy time.
And yeah.
Gotta have some more Tiffy time.
Let's keep it in the women's division here. We had a women's tag team championship matchup last night between Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, the current champions, against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And it is happy news to report today. Alexa and Charlotte win the women's tag team championship belts, and they have, I guess, accepted this alliance, as we saw in the post-game show. They are fully committed to this newfound partnership, and I'm excited for it. I cannot wait for it to come crashing and burning down. I'm excited for the eventual Alexa and Charlotte matchup that we're gonna probably get as like some kind of breakup match, that they're gonna have. But long may they reign as tag team champions, because I do like the newfound dynamic that they've sort of built with each other.
I think this brand new tag team and the championships that they received brings new life into the women's tag team matches, because it felt so stale. So I hope this is something new, and it's going to get exploited more.
Absolutely. And the belts are moving from Raw to SmackDown if the rosters stay the same. I get confused on who's on which roster and if it really even truly matters at different points. But interesting development here. Can't say that I'm surprised. We thought this was going to happen at Evolution, and
it did
after
not.
It did not. We correctly predicted that it was just a delay of game, and they were just preparing us for the inevitable to happen at SummerSlam. So they got a couple extra weeks out of it. Of course, they were working with the same people that they'd been working with in Evolution. So it carries over to what we just talked about they stick people together for a minute. I don't know if we're going to see a rematch for this one, though, anytime soon.
I don't think so. It will be too stale. It's like, let it breathe.
Absolutely. So, we'll see who they get into it with next, potentially.
Kabuki Warriors.
Well, they're on Raw, too.
Oh, okay.
So that's interesting. And we'll wait and see if some new women emerge from NXT to take them on, because I feel like SmackDown is a vehicle for that a little bit more. And I'm not saying that Charlotte and Alexa wouldn't retain, but we had Sol Ruka. Is that her name?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm trying to remember the other one that wrestled with her at Evolution, because we don't watch NXT every week. Anyways, not important, but Sol Ruka is due to be promoted at some point soon, because she's too athletic, and I could see her and Charlotte doing well together, working well together. But we'll have to wait and see. That's a minor prediction on a Sunday for you. All right. Well, and probably what was my least favorite matchup of the evening, it was Sami Zayn taking down his arch nemesis Karrion Kross in the rubber match. This was the third encounter between these two since Night of Champions. Sami Zayn won the first one. Karrion Kross won their second matchup, which was on a Raw, I believe. It wasn't a Saturday night's main event, was it?
You know what? I
lose
this
track.
This match doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, this whole feud was, I don't know, not great from the beginning. It didn't do a lot for me. And Karrion Kross, we don't know what's going on with him personally, but from some of the things we're reading online, it sounds like the rumors are that he might be done with WWE in a little bit. So if this is how he goes out, then we bid you adieu. But this whole shtick and this whole feud with Sami Zayn, I don't know whose idea it was or who's writing it or whatever, but it's just It had run its course well before this, and I feel like they just did this matchup to do it. That's it. And
it felt
again,
like a filler more than anything
working
else.
together after time after time after time. It's a kind of a common theme here. And this match didn't do a lot for me.
No.
So congrats to Sammy nonetheless. Hopefully we get some new blood in there soon.
Yeah.
And I also want to point out, like, they were trying to get Sammy to go dark, or like push him to the dark side. And I think it would have been more interesting if he would have. And at least it would have given him some kind of point to this whole feud.
Sure, but he still might go dark, just not the way with Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
The feud doesn't have a lot of oomph in it. It doesn't really
it doesn't do a lot for me.
Exactly.
All right. And finally, last but certainly not least, the kickoff match of the evening, Nika. It was Jey Uso getting the crowd pumped from the beginning. They actually started the whole show, at least the wrestling portion of it, with his entrance.
They did.
And that definitely was a choice that I overlooked when it came to the lineup prediction, because when we did our prediction show, I, of course, said I think this will be the matchup order that we did it in. And instead, this matchup, I kind of overlooked the importance of getting the crowd hyped and how Jey Uso's music and then having Roman Reigns come out right after that could build some immediate excitement in the air. So good job, good choice by WWE here. And this match, I can't say I'm surprised that Roman Reigns and Jey Uso got the win here.
Well, we predicted it.
Yeah, considering how things ended too, I thought this would be interesting to talk about last, because having this matchup go first also kind of took Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed out of the spotlight for the rest of the evening, if you will. And it kind of, not the savvy fans, but to the average fan maybe, or to the average viewer, no one was thinking about Seth Rollins at the end of the matchup. There was a few people out there that were like us. We were talking about it. Is Seth going to show up?
Yes.
And then I felt like he wasn't, but I also felt like having this match go first at the beginning of the night, it made me sort of think like, oh, I wonder if Seth's going to show up, and that this is a way of making us, the audience, forget about it for long enough that, Heyman, because Heyman's out there. He's got the briefcase.
Yeah.
It's always in your face.
We see Heyman more with the briefcase than Seth.
Well, no one's going to have the briefcase anymore because
that's
it's been
true.
cashed in. And Seth Rollins is the world heavyweight champion. That's the big news out of night one, everybody, from SummerSlam. And now that we got this in the can, Nico, we can turn our attentions to night number 2. And before we get out of here, I just want to ask you, did anything that happened last night change what you think might happen tonight? Or are all your predictions the same?
Oh, you're giving me an out, huh?
Well, I'm not giving you any out. No. I didn't. This is not like throw everything at the table. This is just more along the lines of like, did anything surprise you last night so much that you would have to revisit tonight?
No,
Okay.
I'm sticking with what I said about my predictions. My hesitation, though, is about how you going to tap Saturday main event with tonight's expose. You don't have another Money in the Bank surprise suitcase. So there's got to be something else.
Well, there's going to be some surprises for sure. Also, we have the tables, ladders, and chairs match, which I'm really excited about from the stunt work.
That's a stunt work.
The one thing that gives me pause, and I'm not going to change my predictions, but with Tiffany not losing the belt, it makes me wonder if the other women's title is going to be more keen to move.
You mean Naomi's?
Correct. But then I think about it and I'm like, no, she just became champ. I think that's too soon, especially for the deviousness in which she was able to cash in at Evolution. Like, not the same exact way as Seth Rollins, but kind of similar. At the end of a big heavyweight matchup, she came in and they both took the world title, by the way, not the WWE title. So now that Tiffy has retained, I'm just throwing it out there that maybe we misread that situation, or maybe they both retain and both the men's titles change. Does knowing that Gunther lost the belt and then CM Punk also loses the world belt to Seth Rollins now, does that change do you think Cena is still going to lose the belt tonight?
I think so.
It'll be interesting to see how it all goes down, but I none of my predictions are changing. I'm going to say the women are going to retain this time at SummerSlam, and both the men's titles are going to switch.
Okay.
So Cody's still going to win to me, and Naomi's still going to retain to me after last night.
I think so as well.